Alright, this is Mosk. I lost my first recording, unfortunately, so this is my second time through the Sorcerers. So you will have to excuse me if I seem a little brisk. I'm a little bit frustrated. So anyways, these are my Sorcerers. I really like them as a boxing class because they got a lot of utility. That's the word. They do pretty good damage. They're pretty survivable. They have pretty good mobility. They have really good crowd control. I mean, they're an amazing class to multi-box. And one of the things that I like about them is that they can heal and it's insta-cast. Those are the two things that are important to me when, like, I don't care if a class can heal. If it's a cast time, it doesn't really help us as boxers in my experience. Like, if it's not instant, it's not near as useful. And the instant stuff obviously is usually a lot less powerful, but when you multiply it by 4, we're getting the punch out of it that we want. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about the talent spec that I've chosen really quick, and then we're gonna go and we're gonna kill a little bit of stuff and you can see it in use. So my end goal is to have 11 points in a corruption, so I have Resurgence. That's the insta-cast healing talent that I want. With 4 of them, I've spec'd at 32, and I had 11 points here and then 11 points here into Madness. And the 4 Resurgences would heal just over half of my health bar in 6 seconds. Or in 9 seconds, excuse me. So that's pretty good, considering the fact that you can just constantly reapply this thing. It's got a 6-second cooldown. I love it. Like, it was super useful. The only reason I don't have it now is because I don't need to be healing at level 32. I kill stuff so fast, I'm so efficient that I do not need to have point spin in here. So, as I was saying, my end goal is to have 11 points in here, and then have 18 points here in Madness, and then dump the rest here into Lightning to get Chain Lightning. So, where I'm at now, you can see I'm filling in the DPS portion of where I'm going. So the most important talent, I think, is Madness. Force Lightning no longer has a cooldown. The reason I like Force Lightning over having a pure Lightning spec is for a couple reasons. One, if you have a pure Lightning spec, you're going to want to go 31 points in so you get the Thundering Blast. Like, all of these deep talents are really, really good. Like, you know, you get Chain Lightning, and then all of a sudden your Chain Lightning fires off an extra it can reset the cooldown and make it instant, and then it does extra damage, and then it makes a stacking buff that makes you do more DPS, and all of these talents are really, really good, and that means that you can't go get Resurgence. Whereas Madness, all of these deep talents aren't super good, because of the way the camera angle works. Honestly, that's the real answer. Because when you hit follow, your guys follow you, and then their camera angle stays in the same direction it was facing when you hit the follow button. And there's no key in game to sync it up behind your characters. And so because of that, what you have happen is you can't effectively use these ground targeted abilities because your camera for each of your characters is pointing in a different direction. So you can never get it synced up to hit the GTOA perfect. Now, in 6 months, when we have like 3 options for camera angles, not going to be a problem. But as far as I can see, there's no solution now. No matter what you do, you cannot get your camera angles on your 3 alts to face in the same direction, or even have something defaulted so that you could manipulate it. Like, if it was always directly behind the character, is basically what I'm talking about. So with that in mind, all of those things together combine to the fact that I like this hybrid build where it'll be 11, 18, and then we'll just dump the remainder here into Lightning. So here you can see it's basically just the filler DPS talents. I mean, this stuff is useful, but I only want to put 18 points into Madness. And I'm really going for these 3 talents, and then once I get to 49, this is when I'll put the points into here, because I don't really need an insta-cast Whirlwind while I'm leveling. So with Force Lightning having no cooldown, you can spam it, and because of this talent, as long as it does a single tick of damage, you're basically regenning the force it costs to cast it. So as long as you're not interrupted in less than a second, bam, you're good to go. You will never run out of force just spamming Force Lightning. And because you're just sitting there spamming Force Lightning, Wrath is basically an auto proc. So Wrath makes your next spell with a cast time cast instant and do 20% more damage. So these 3 talents together constitute the bulk of your DPS abilities. Like, if for a solo sorcerer, yeah, going deep and getting Creeping Terror and being able to use Death Field are really awesome, and it increases your damage, but multi-boxing, we can't effectively use basically any of this. So we're going all the way in just to get Creeping Terror. I don't think it's worth it. I would rather be able to have Resurgence. So you can see this is all I'm going to put in until I get to 49. And then here, the end goal is to get at least 11 points in here for Chain Lightning, so that when Wrath procs, I can use Crushing Darkness, which is, it does instant damage, and then it has a really nasty dot over 6 seconds. But it's got a 15-second cooldown, so, and you're going to get Wrath procs much more frequently than that. So, like I said, the end goal is to, once you've got the 11 points in here, what you can just do is, you know, your Force Lightning, Force Lightning, Force Lightning, and then the first time you get a proc, you Crushing Darkness, and then your next proc, while Crushing Darkness is on cooldown, goes to Chain Lightning, which also does a ridiculous amount of damage. And then there's some other neat stuff in here that you're going to be able to pick up. I don't know if I said this already, if it was on the other video, but the healing, yeah, healing is really good. The 4 of these on a guy will heal over half their health bar in 9 seconds. It's insane. And then the self-shield is actually really, really good. So I've been talking for like, wow, I've only got 2 minutes left for this video to fit as a one-of on YouTube. So let's just go take a look, and you can see what it looks like really quick. Hey, perfect. So I found that this team is, like I said, it's really good, and it would be really easy to macro, or not macro, but set it up with a first come first serve setup, because all you need to do is have Force Lightning, Shock, and Crushing Darkness on your bar, and it's, if you just spam those 3 buttons, like, you're good to go. You don't need to do anything else. That basically constitutes the bulk U DPS, and you can manually control Affliction. While I'm running around solo like this and I'm not doing instances and stuff, I would prefer to have manual control over everything, so that's where I'm at right now. And that's why you see me doing what I'm doing. So, like I said, whenever I hit my follow button, my guys follow me, and then they throw on their shield, and then just kill stuff. It's pretty good. Like I said, I'm really happy with this team. They're really survivable. The DPS is pretty good. The only part that's frustrating to me, and this has nothing to do with like the playability, is that because your characters still don't sync up super well, sometimes when you hit an ability, your guys will like stop, and they'll be in slightly different places on your screen, and they run around a little bit, and it breaks the immersion factor for me, and I'm a big Star Wars fan, so that's kind of something to me, I guess. So you can see how often, I mean, you constantly have Wrath procs up. You never don't have Wrath procs up while you're killing stuff. Good team. It's got everything. It's got a little bit of everything. And I think in PvP it's going to be really insane. With the shield and the healing, you're going to be able to do everything. The only thing about the team that I guess bothers me is the fact that it is ranged. You have to keep that in mind, and it's more of a defensive team than the other teams that I'm going to show you. The Juggernauts and the Operatives are just, wow, they're really insane. And actually, I'm probably going to finish the Juggernauts and the Operatives before I finish the Sorcerers to 50. Eventually, I'll have all of them, but team's good. Solid. The CC you get between Whirlwind plus, which will be instacast once you're 50, plus Electrocute for the stun, and then Overload for the knockback, combined with immobilizing them for 5 seconds. I mean, there's a lot of CC that this team is going to have. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to show you a little bit more footage, but hopefully over the course of the next month or two, I'll be able to record more stuff. Maybe me soloing some instances with these guys, and I can get it up on YouTube or something like that. So, thanks for watching. Like I said, you can post or contact me in game, and like I said, I'm gonna want to talk via Skype if I'm helping you troubleshoot something. But yeah, thanks for watching.